Assalamu alaikum. Let's cook.
Black people, you have got to teach your kids, especially your kids that are hanging out with rich white kids. That is not good. You gotta stop letting them hang out with rich white kids. This Nolan Wells situation never should have happened. The parents of Nolan Wells should have known better than to let him hang out with these kids. I have an older son. I'm not saying it's the parents' fault, but I'm just saying it happens all the time. My older son is half black. He looked more black than he did half. But he got into a similar situation. He was fighting with a bunch of rich kids in North Atlanta, the North Atlanta suburbs, the richest neighborhood in Cherokee County, Georgia. And he was fighting with a bunch of boys over a girl. And lucky for him, he didn't wind up dead. He just wound up locked up for a while. But it could have wound up with him being killed. And, we as parents, we have to do a better job in informing our children about who they should and shouldn't hang out with, because matters. The color of your skin matters, especially when you're hanging out with a bunch of rich kids that have, doctors and lawyers and judges as parents. You know that your kid is going to either wind up locked up or dead. So my heart goes out to Nolan Wells' family. I really hate that it happened to him, but you gotta protect your children, because white people will kill your children at the drop of a hat. That's just the way it is, especially these entitled little rich white kids. God loves you. I love you.
Sometimes our people have to hear from somebody who looks like that. I mean, it is what it is at this point. Sometimes that's just what they got to see. Condolences to the family of this young black child, Nolan Wells. The biggest victims of racial violence are the black people who usually fail to acknowledge it. Really messed up. But the truth is the truth here, man. I mean, the only time I seen Nolan Wells around black people is usually with his football uniform on. Maybe a few pictures here and there, but usually the only time is with the football uniform on. And the unfortunate truth about this is there will be no justice in this situation. I see many people calling for justice. We need to know this. We need this, and that right now. They did this. We better get to the bottom of this. Y'all better show us this. I get it. People are upset. They are emotional. But the family won't be getting justice in Mississippi. Think about it. You're asking for justice from the people who did this to them. Think about it. It's Mississippi. People are calling for justice. We want swift justice. You are asking for justice from the same people who left them in the water like that. That ain't white peopling. That's not how it works. These people are not going to change now. White people in Mississippi, they know how to kill black people. These are rich white folks. They already started forming Pell Voltron real tight. They already started making their moves. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen with them putting away their young people for the life of a young black man, a young black child or teenager or whatever you want to call them. White people in Mississippi are used to killing black people and getting away with it, man. They already on point with it. You can see the moves that have already started being made. You know what I mean? I know it's right to say we want justice. That's the right thing to say. But in this situation here, it's not going down like that. You're asking for justice from the same people who did this to them. And I don't have any hope in white people changing. I don't think that white people are going to change for Nolan. Black people like Nolan, his family, and other people who think like him, they have to change. They got to change how they deal with whitey. And you know what? When you're black, even when you're young, and you notice the person who's listening, you're from these areas, these hoods, these ghettos or whatever, you know we have to learn early and quick. We see people at 13 who make mistakes that are still dealing with it to this day. That's the pressure of being black. I don't care where you at. You're around black people, you're around white people. You will have the pressures when you're young of making the right decision. That's just how it is, man. You know what I mean? I'm not saying something like this should happen to Nolan or he deserved it or anybody at all. I don't want that at all. But I don't make the rules, man. And when you go in dangerous places and spaces with Whitey, they make the rules. I've got numerous videos about this topic and this situation way before this. You know what I mean? There have been many stories in the news, maybe not mainstream news, not as much as it should be, but there are black content creators who cover these things. But the truth is, people like Nolan's family, they have what's called an entitled Negro syndrome. You know, they think they're so far away from what happened to Rasheem Carter in Mississippi. And unfortunately, they just found out they're not. You know what I mean? This is messed up. We've seen these situations. They don't think that they can be Bakari Henderson. When they see that type of stuff, when a lot of black people like that see this type of stuff, they don't even give it a second thought. Bakari Henderson and Nolan have the same type of pictures. Bunch of white people around them, and now they both went out with Whitey, and they're not coming back. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? You could tell from the optics that at that point in their young lives, they didn't get an opportunity to change, and you could tell they just really, really loved whiteness. That, you know, some people are just like that, y'all. You know what I mean? Some people have a certain mindset. It's different levels to it. And I know you've met these people before, maybe at your job, maybe in their 30s and 40s and 50s, 60s. Some black people just love whiteness. They just love everything about the way white people smell. They try to walk like them. That's the point that they were at their lives at that time. You know what I mean? And again, I don't like it because they never got an opportunity to see things for what it really is and change. But I don't make the rules. You know what I'm saying? Now, my thing for the people is this whole Nolan thing, this social media buzz is a big spectacle right now. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people on social media. People like getting involved in these topics, saying that they stand with somebody, justice for such and such. But listen, man, this is the honest truth. Most of these people will not care in a few weeks. I don't care who they are. Black people, whatever. It's just a buzz right now. We have trauma-based amnesia. There are people who are making content about this. That's just for the buzz. You know what I mean? They won't be making any more content about this 8 months from now. You have to get justice for yourself. It is what it is, man. People, black people, you have to do it for yourself. These people don't care about you, man. Don't get caught up in thinking you have a community on social media because you see people hashtag and write, I stand with such a, it ain't like that. You got to look out for yourself and your people first. And if most of us did that, we wouldn't have these things to worry about. You know what I mean? Do not look at these tragic situations like it can't be you. Every situation I see a black person in, I look at it like, yo, that could be me. Little, you know, anything. If it's a certain, you know, of course, you know, think something is you is something just straight up dumb. They just did something straight stupid, not that. But these other situations and scenarios, I put myself in all of them. It's real bad in the world, man. People are more violent. You know what I mean? You can do everything right and still get hurt. But to put yourself in a situation that's very dangerous for a black person, you can't do that, man. You got to worry about yourself. You know what I mean? Worry about your people. And that's what you got to do. A lot of people got this special Negro syndrome, y'all. They really believe that they are exempt from this racial violence, from this inequality, from these patterns of discrimination and all that. They have this false belief that their personal achievements, their status, their education, income, or acceptance by some white people or some white institutions make them immune to this racial violence. It ain't going down like that. White people do not play, yo. When it come to racial violence, they not playing around. And when it goes down, they will all form Pale Voltron. You seen that with Tamla Horsford. There was a white lady who was her friend that was going all out for her. She had Tamla Horsford. She had one white friend that was going all out. No, this is not. I know what happened. Boom, boom. Y'all can't do this. They shut that white lady down. The whole town. We're gonna shut everything down. Your kids, your husband's job, you want to run your white people will kill each other, whether it be for real or just cut off their lifelines. You will not break this Pale Voltron. White people ain't playing like that, man. They're not playing like that. So if you want to be one of these Negroes that keep thinking that your individual success or your social acceptance by white people places you outside of this Black American experience, unfortunately, these are the people who find out the most. And these adults who have this mindset, these are the ones who are putting their young ones out there like sitting ducks to get hurt bad. And Nolan fell in that category. You can look and tell. You know what I'm saying? I know he was a good kid and all that. I get that. Unfortunately, he didn't get an opportunity to learn. And yes, I do blame his parents for this as well. I don't care. He was about 18, living at home with a black dad, a mom or whatever. No, it's part their fault as well. Some people think, oh, what he gonna do? Nah, he's under their care still. Anyway, people, condolences to the family of Nolan Wells and anybody else that this happened to, the young people. Easy.